Okay. I mean, the Astros have lost the first two games of this series against the Seattle Mariners. If the season were to end today, they would be out, not in, when it comes to the playoffs. There's a lot on the line tonight. Surely they'll show up better on national television than the Houston Texans did in Jacksonville with CBS's F team on the call, right? I don't know, but guess what? The Gallant Says day of live streaming, and live streaming some more continues. Let's watch a baseball game together. Please help me stay awake and stay engaged. Let's go.
A radio show host in Seattle called Paul Gallant.
Paul Gallant's wondering the same things a lot of people are.
You are definitely living in the hindsight world today, Paul.
Do you feel there's been a consistent theme with the interceptions?
I think every interception really has a different story.
I was just kind of curious what Paul gets to say.
Grow up, are you kidding me? Paul Gallant, what the hell is wrong with you?
Hello and welcome aboard this Gallant Says special edition watch party. You can watch along on YouTube at Paul Gallant, like this video and subscribe. You can also watch along on Twitch at Gallant Says. Give me a sub. On X and Twitter at Gallant Says Pod. We're on Instagram at Sports Gallant. Give me a follow. And on Facebook at Paul Gallant Sports. You can generally catch this show weekdays at noon until about 1:30 or so on all of those platforms, and then after the fact on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Every little bit of support helps. We're in a new era for me and my career. Paul, this is the polite way of saying you're unemployed. It is. Yes. First question, Not Santa says, where's your lady? You said you would do a watch party with her. Yeah, we did a watch party on Friday, bruh. Anyway, let's get this thing started. I'm going to get some water. I've been live streaming all day. I'm a little bit tired. This is my third stream of the day. Fourth of the weekend, technically. Not Santa says I should apologize to Bobby Slowick. Nah, I ain't going to do that. But let's get this thing started. And let's actually get the Astros game on the television side of things. You know? Anyway.
second half, McCaffrey on a 4th and goal play takes the big hit from Matt Wilson on 4th down.
It's time for the Drive of the Day, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
All right, we're in a stoppage in the Cardinals and Niners game as well as the Broncos and Chargers game. So the drive of the day comes from the Buccaneers game. After a crazy turn of events, a blocked field goal for a touchdown for the Jets put the Buccaneers down by a point late in the 4th quarter. Baker Mayfield and company go to work. Emeka Ibuka, the sensational-looking rookie wide receiver, with a catch. A couple plays later, Baker to Sterling Shepard. That's a 20-yard pickup. Suddenly, they're in Jets territory. They run the clock down to the final 3 seconds, and Chase McLaughlin caps it off with a game-winning walk-off field goal as time expired. Buccaneers win it 29-27 on a 7-play, 48-yard scoring drive, the drive of the day. Which one of these offenses can put the drive of the day together for them? The Chargers with it, trying to get into field goal range with 60 seconds remaining in regulation.
Herbert to the sideline, caught by Allen. That's right in front of Moss. Clock is stopped at 53. And he's out of bounds at the 44 of the Broncos. The target line's the 42. Broncos with the 3 timeouts as well. Keenan Allen today, 7 catches, 65 yards. It's 2nd down and 1. After the gain of 9. Hampton the call. Big run. Breaks a tackle and then down by Moss.
Oh, loading up that unbalanced side of the line. Benson. Nothing there. Fred Warner on the stop. San Francisco is going to hold on to its last timeout. This is going to take us to the 2-minute warning, and it'll be 3rd down and long on the other side.
We're watching these 2 games right now. Dallas has put in their backup quarterback. Joe Milton is quarterbacking the Cowboys right now, so the Bears are on their way for a victory in that game. But I tell you that we're watching these 2 games because, as we tell you at the end of each week here on NFL Red Zone, whichever one of these 3 games with time remaining on the clock is the quote-unquote last game standing, we will ask you to flip to your local either CBS or Fox affiliate to see if that game is carried in your area. If you have Sunday Ticket through YouTube TV, all 3 of these games are available on separate streams. Our international NFL Red Zone audience, you keep it right here. You'll see the conclusion of these 3 games, but we'll let you know which one is the last game standing here in a minute or 2.
Rookie. And grabbed initially down low by Tillman and then spun down and hit on the play by Jones and others. At the 38-yard line is where we go. Lost 2.
Slow them down. He said, well, you can't when they're really in that type of rhythm. But it's looked very different today. They've kept those big plays down. They've looked.
Broncos were down 10-0. Rattled off 17 unanswered points. And then the Chargers came back. And the big play that tied the game with the extra point, the 20-yard touchdown pass to Allen.
And reminder, some injuries for the Chargers. Harris went out of the game early on with what appears to be an Achilles injury, and Mekhi Becton, the right guard, is out. So Salyer's in at right guard. Couple more injuries the Chargers are dealing with.
It's a nickel secondary for Denver, and it's 2nd down and 12 for Herbert. That like a block, caught inside the 30. McConkey continues to backpedal and works his way into McMillan. Down to the 26. Shy of the first by about a half yard.
Third and final.
Or did they give him the first down? Nope. They haven't moved the chains yet. Timeout taken.
Just a little slant by McConkey. He gets an outside step. He's one-on-one. He gives a little step to the outside.
They're in a timeout right now. We want to let you know that next week it's the International Series kicking off. We go to Dublin, Ireland. It's presented by Madden NFL 26. It's the Vikings and the Steelers. Couple of teams coming off nice wins today. It's next Sunday. Kickoff at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, only on NFL.
I was wondering what was going on. Not Santa just sent me a meme of Costanza. See, Jason Alexander's trustworthy. Kia. This commercial, New Yorkers' accents are disgusting. Chosen One says, dang, the Texans are taking the hard road to the Super Bowl this year. If you still have faith, good for you. I do not see how anyone could have it right now. So why the fuck is Pena scratched? He has an alter ego called Walter. Okay, so Pena has oblique soreness. Altuve doubled to lead off. All right. Offense. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that we'd see any fucking offense from a Houston sports team today? Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the audio. Ryan. I'm going to take a look at that. Rick Malali says that Jeff Goldblum's better than the Texans. Let's see. What's happening on this front? How about now? Better? Significantly better? How are we sounding now? Yeah, I don't know why the audio levels kind of messed around. What was the fucking camera work on that? B. Hannon asks about those Chargers. Yeah, they are. Cameron Dicker hit the game-winning field goal. Los Angeles Superchargers. Los Angeles Chargers. The Mac Jones-led 49ers are 3-0. Who scripted this out? Who scripted that? Girlfriend likes it when I turn the Padres on because she likes Maldonado. Ryan House says, surely we won't have two Houston teams today that can't score. I mean, that's been the Astros all weekend until that grand slam last night, right? Ugh. Rick Malahi says, my wife wants the Goldblum pillow. Ugh. 2 infield singles to open up the weekend, the inning. Great. Great. Way to rub it in, Carl. Oh my Lanta, bases loaded, and there are no outs in the second inning. That's great. That's definitely what you want. Ryan Howes asks, are we cooked? We might be cooked. It's starting to look that way. I guess the good news is the American League is so wide open, and the rest of the season, the Astros have a pretty easy schedule because the next 6 games, I forget the order, but it's the A's and it's the Angels. First, it's the A's, then it's the Angels. All of it's on the road. So this might be the last game at Daikin in 2025, which is depressing to think about. Ryan says Seattle is Colorado and LA. I mean, look, you might be playing for the wild card right now. But this is the wild card standings as currently constructed. Technically, I guess since the Guardians lost today, technically, right now, barring a loss, and if the Astros lose, then there we go. But they are a half game up on the Guardians for the final wild card spot. They are
a game back of the Yankees. Excuse me, a game back of the Red Sox for the second wild card spot. And they are 4 games back of the Yankees. There's a massive pop-up in the way of the overall standings because ESPN's website's bullshit. So the Astros are, for the 2 seed in the American League, which is currently the Mariners, they are 2 games back. So, I mean, they could still be the 2 seed since the Blue Jays lead the American League and the Yankees have the second best record in the American League, but the Yankees are also in the same division as the Blue Jays. So the divisions are helping the Astros out a little bit here. The Tigers are actually just half a game ahead of the Astros right now. Oh, Jesus Christ, Jason Alexander just walked in a run. This is gonna be a bummer of a day, isn't it? We got someone on the Instagram side of things saying, "Paulie G, go Mariners." Yeah, it's looking good for them already. Tigers have been crashing. You are right. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. This is going to be a long day. Oh, fucking A, dude. Holy shit, what a bad day. Well, shout out to you, MB Walters, and congratulations on that Grand Slam. This might not last very long. I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of sportsed out. I kind of want a meatball sub. I want to just go get a meatball sub and go to bed. Greg Todd says, time to start talking Rockets and Cougs. Yeah, might be. Might be. Oof. knows baseball in Houston? Me. I'm the greatest baseball mind there is. You know? Suicide squeeze. Double play. Fielder's choice. Perfect game. Okay, now it's 7-0. Yeah, this game's over. Jesus Christ. Throw in the damn towel. Greg Todd asks, what are the odds an Astros coach gets fired before a Texans coach? I would think that given the Astros season has a chance to be over very soon, that it'll be an Astros coach before the Texans coach. Instagram. Wes Holt Comedy says our quarterback's a fucking idiot. Texans are hoes. Our MLB lineup is just as bad. If we made it longer than any other team, we're on fumes. That's true. God willed it. And it seems that God has turned his back on our beloved Astros. Oh boy. It's funny when they say the big dumper, who's now done what he's done 57 other times. Sounds like they're talking about shit when you think about it for just a moment. Greg Todd says, I can't stand the Sunday night baseball announcers. Yeah, it used to have a little more majesty to it. Who used to do it? Who do Major League Baseball for ESPN Sunday night? It was John Miller and Joe Morgan. That's it. Yeah, I miss John Miller's voice, but that was a while ago. Rick Mullally says, be careful driving around Houston. A couple of train wrecks happened. Interesting. Oh, wow. Fuck. Train derailed in the 5th Ward. Oh, that's from June. Sir, this might be some fake news. Fake news. So this game is bad, right? It is bad for Astros fans, and it's good for Mariners fans. It's a great point. They're talking about great points right now. I think it's a reference to the sports atrocities we have witnessed today. Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. Yeah. That went completely over my head. I literally looked that up. Yeah, it went way over my head. I'm fucking tired. Wes Holt says, sad weekend, but the Astros have history. A break from the playoffs sounds nice, even though it's not ideal. I've heard about this, Ryan, the bodies being pulled from bayous over the past 12 months. Maybe it's a serial killer, but I feel like some people are maybe thinking like what's going on in Austin, because I think in Austin there actually is a serial killer going on. Jesus, the Mariners are... This Naylor guy's just fucking around out there.
the Saturday start's the concerning one. Because it's Fromber. I don't know what the fuck. Teeman, would you give Raleigh or Judge the MVP?
Raleigh, fuck Judge. Fuck the Yankees. Fuck New York. How about that? How about that? It's going to be really funny when Cal Raleigh breaks Judge's home run record. People were mad about C.J. Stroud's hat. Ah, so multiple bayous, Braves, White Oak, and Buffalo. Interesting. Very interesting. You seem to know a lot about it. Is it you? Poor Carlos Correa has to do this fucking interview while he's down 7-0. Ryan Lawson, Texas, says the next thing he does. CJ walks into a game with a Hitler mustache just to fuck with everyone. That would be funny. Shredder asks, this is clearly the end of the dynasty, right? Like, are we done here and ready to reload now? The way the Mariners are doing this, because if they win this game, they're probably going to win the American League West. That for sure makes it feel like it's the end. Like if you go in and you get the win that you had yesterday where it was pretty one-sided until the Pena Grand Slam, and then you have this where you're up 7-0 early on. It's at least paused, you know? If the Astros make the playoffs, it's still ongoing, but it'll be like late stage Rome, where you're pretty sure it's going to stop at some point soon. Can you explain? Oh my gosh. Double play. Woohoo! Yeah, I am. Let's read the comments. Sorry, everybody. 75 court jesters. Let's chug a beer together. I don't have any beer here. 75 court jesters blaming Fromber. Ryan Lawson, Texas says Altuve's playing Fiddler on the Roof. The Papa tradition. The Papa tradition. Yes. I do not have any tequila either. 75 court jester. No, I've been doing work since like 11:45 this morning. This is my third live stream of the day. And yeah, grinding on coffee and whiskey. I don't know how long I'm going to do this. I don't know if I'm going to do this much longer. If we were some rich fans. All day long we'd see an Astros pitching staff that didn't have guys like Jason Alexander. Hey, they wouldn't have to work hard like the Texans didn't really work hard on cleaning the little things. We're in week 3, but it feels like 10. Yabba dabba 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 da. I'm so sick of waking up every single Sunday to watch a Texas Jaguars game, because it generally makes me want to kill myself. Those games are brutal, terrible, and every single time they make me want to shoot myself in the nose. Bleeding out the bullet hole multiple hours. And the Jaguars tried to give it to them. And CJ Stroud wore a Yankees hat. What the fuck? And everything is not going well. Nick Kelly is making play calls like this. Oh, a home run. Okay. The comeback starts now. Maybe I need to sing more to jumpstart rallies. I do too, 75 court jester. I would love someone to pay me $5 million a year to suck. Shredder says your Tony Award for most original song remake is in the mail. How many people even know what Fiddler on the Roof is? I think it's just Ryan, Lost in Texas, and Shredder. Maybe Rick knows it. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah, I got to file my unemployment check. Oh, God, baseball's so boring. Ryan, you laugh, but apparently you have to file it on a specific day. So I have to do what all the work things that I did this week. And I did have a job interview on Friday, but it's not really full-time in nature. I applied for another radio station in town, not one that I've ever worked at before, two for a part-time gig. Grinding on coffee and whiskey. Texted my brother-in-law. He said, fuck Stroud. This is coming from a huge CJ fan up until now. Yeah, it used to be you had to make, the last time I got let go, I was doing unemployment via you had to call in to file the unemployment. And one of the times I called in, I was honest, and I ended up not getting paid because I said I was in another country. Biggest Skeeter, Paul, could you see CJ getting benched? No. Fiddler would have been better if it featured oppressed sports fans instead. I'm impressed by how many people in here have watched Fiddler on the Roof. Oh my God, you had to file in person? That sounds awful, Rick. My mom basically told me, I was talking with her last week, and she said, oh yeah, so you're going to go to the unemployment office? And I was like, wait, what? People do that? You can see why no one would go. Grinding on coffee and whiskey, talking about Stroud. He's regressing so bad. For a moment, since we were talking about unemployment, I was like, Paul is regressing so bad. Shredder says washed is a strong word. So did you listen to it? Okay. So here's the deal. I need the Astros to be within 3 runs by the 6th inning. If they are not, I will not be watching past the 6th inning. Uh, 75 Courtchester says F the Mariners. The Mariners as an organization kind of are the worst. I speak mostly about their ownership, but there were some nice people who worked for them. Their fans are incredibly loyal, and they were really nice to me when I was up in Seattle. So I have no bad wishes for Mariners fans like I know a lot of Astros fans do. It's always been weird talking about the Astros with Mariners fans because it's been so one-sided, and obviously the cheating thing makes a lot of people really angry about it. Shredder says, my wife watched it. I played Madden on my phone. Didn't know you could play Madden on your phone. Ryan Lawson, Texas says, I have a recurring donation of $20 a month that goes to a children's hospital in Seattle. That's from a shit-talking episode back a dozen years ago. You're going to need to explain that. Mariners deserve it more. Sorry, Astros fans, just being honest. Come at me if you will. Yeah, they definitely do. They've been awesome the last 6 weeks or so. Cougars stayed undefeated this weekend. That is true. They did. PM says you're braver than I am suffering through it. Yeah. Yeah, they're 14-1 in the last 15. That sounds right. They got hot like this back in 95 too. I actually read a book about it. Like they just got on an absolute tear at the end of the year. Ryan Lost in Texas says, Paul, how awesome would talking on the radio be tomorrow? I think it would suck bad. It would be an easy show. That's for sure. Like, I wouldn't have to do any prep. I can just show up and be like, yeah, it's bad. What do you think? I think it's bad, personally. I don't think it's good. That's for sure. It's bad. Bad, bad, bad. Oh my God. I just saw the replay of that. Jesus Christ. What the fuck just happened? What do you think of the jersey? What jersey? The Mariners jersey is cool. The teals are good look. The Astros spring training look that they wear so that Framber Valdez doesn't have a meltdown that they're wearing tonight. God damn it. He doesn't pronounce his name like Jesus. He is instead called Jesus. If you mispronounce his name, you're obtuse. When you were young, sometimes you leave, and Jason Alexander gives up 7 runs in the second inning. when you were young. Ezekiel Tovar says offense was ass. Can we quit with the finding the next offensive prodigy at offensive coordinator and hire someone decent to scheme the O-line and people open? That would be nice. Reaver of Jill's Sandwiches says I've got a bottle of whiskey, and 8 hours of sick leave for tomorrow, getting me through today. Good for you. Luis Espino says tough one. We're talking about the Astros game. We're talking about the Texans game. I do too, Luis Espino. I wish there were some El Tiempo. Would love an El Tiempo margarita right now. I wish they would actually wear the Tequila Sunrise jerseys again. It's been so long since they wore it. Oak Tree asks, is he asleep? No, I'm here. I'm just running on Steam. Ugh. Ezekiel Tovar says no help for Ariante Ursary, no chips, no double blocks. They held him out to dry. Yeah, I saw on Twitter. I think Clint was just talking about that a couple of seconds ago. Nice. Ezekiel Tovar says season's pretty much over at this point. I don't see the offense suddenly getting better. Oh, you're talking about the Texans, not the Astros. Unless we switch offensive coordinators and then the time to get the scheme going. But Woody Marks looks good, and he's not getting any playing time. Yeah, they need to put Marks out there. They need to put Jaden Higgins out there. They need to put Jalen Knoll out there. What's up, Sean? How you doing? Yeah, your Mariners are doing well. And if they are winning by more than 3 runs by the end of the 6th inning, I will retire. I will retire. I'm going to put Sunday Night Football on the other TV in here. Hang on a second. Comment. Reaver of Jill's Sandwiches. Who would have thought during the offseason that the Astros should have brought in at least one? I would say two good hitting outfielders. Shocking the people running the team didn't think of that. Yeah, easier said than done. There are some contracts on the books that are not easy to get out from underneath. So, signing a player that's available, who would you have signed? Was it like Cody Bellinger? They went into the year saying, fuck it, let's see what Cam Smith can do. Cam Smith has obviously come way back down to earth. We'll see what he does next year. Jesus Sanchez, his production is sporadic. Yeah. Not great, man. Ezekiel Tovar. Paul, say what's up to my wife Alyssa. She's not a Texans fan. She's a Cowboys fan, but doesn't watch them. What's up, Alyssa? What's up? Still got love for the streets. It's the PAULG. His spot is looking ahead, dead-eyed, being asked another question about an injury. Sunday Night Football features the fucking Giants. That's ridiculous. 2-0-2 teams as well, but I kind of get why they have the Chiefs on. Is this the Giants, really? All right. First runner on. Yeah, Sean, big day for Seattle. I saw they smoked the Saints. Teoscar Hernandez was available. That's true, Greg Todd. He was. What do we got? Is it possible they ruined Cam Smith? I mean, I think it's possible, but I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think there was a guy in the Mariners not too long ago, Jared Kelenic, and they called him up, and he just had a lot of very arrogant guy, but also a guy who was hard on himself, and I think it didn't add up for him being able to handle failure. Wow, that was pretty impressive. That highlight was pretty sick. It's certainly possible. I think anything's possible. But, I mean, he had good moments. He clearly showed he could play at the major league level. And how much better can you get going up against minor leaguers, you know? Ooh, I thought they were going to collide with one another. Robles caught that. The camera guys in both the games that we've watched today have not been great. Rick says bench Stroud. He's stopped. Nick asks, where's the girlfriend? Girlfriend's back at her place. She might be watching on the Twitch. She might not. I hope that the girlfriend is not watching on the Twitch because I've been on the Twitch for a lot of the day. El Mimo. Paul. Why care about the Astros when they don't care themselves? You think they don't care? I don't know about that. Ugh. I am tired. Let's see. Rick the Ruler, damn, this is what the Astros do after that Texans game, not our day. Yeah, no bueno. Rick asks, do the Chiefs go 0-3? We shall see. It is 0-0 with 10:43 to play in the first quarter. El Mimo, I am tired of watching these teams lose as well, you know?
J.J. Watt and then Washburn down on the sidelines. The over-under was 2 seconds for J.J. to lose it. Into the broadcast booth, everybody. Watt and then Washburn down on the sidelines. The over-under was 2 seconds for J.J. to lose it. I should have taken the under. It's the lip sweater. I mean, it's phenomenal. Do those glasses actually have lenses? I don't believe so. No, nothing in here, nothing up here. All right, let's get right to it.
Huh. Ian Eagle and J.J. Watt seem to have quite the rapport. Damn, what the hell happened to Mike Evans? Justin says, well, at least the Astros won 2 World Series rings. That's true, they did. They did do that. What a time. What a time it was. What a time. Reaver of Jill Sandwiches says, I miss 2017 to 2022 Astros baseball. Yes, I miss 2001 through 2019 Patriots football. You know? I miss being able to play video games all day long. I miss not having to think about paychecks. I miss, you know what I miss? I miss having a job. I miss not having to file for unemployment. Oh, fuck. All right. They have until the bottom of the next inning to get within 3 runs. Craig, I'm just being honest. I can laugh at it. I have a dark sense of humor. Blue ball is pretty good, yeah. Real question is his elbow going to fall off like everyone that pitches for this team's elbow ultimately does? Reaver asks, "You don't have a job?" Yeah, I got let go about 9 days ago. Actually, let me see. Let me do the math. It'll be 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks on Tuesday. Pretty crazy how quick the time's gone.
I tried to keep it together. You're good. He did. I mean, there's not much in it there. That's an obvious call.
That's all good. By the way, if you're watching right now, noon to 3, that's where the live stream is. The Gallant Says podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts, Apple and Spotify, but also available live on YouTube at Paul Gallant, on Twitch at Gallant Says, on Facebook at Paul Gallant Sports, on Instagram at Sports Gallant, and on X and Twitter at Gallant Says Pod. We do it every single weekday for now at noon Central Time, since there's no longer a radio show that I'm in that window at noon. We might change it to another time at some point. But for now, that's when it is. And if you ever have a question, gallantsays@gmail.com is who you need to email. You can send you can leave a voicemail, 281-836-3912. 281-836-3912. 281-836-3912. There you go. There you go, everybody. Now you know the rest of the story. And that's the way the cookie crumbles. Mariners fans would probably cheer that if it were in Seattle. Yeah, how do they think that hit the bat?
Oh. Common sense 200. Guardians have an easy schedule. They'll win out. I don't think Houston's going to the postseason. Does not look like that right now. Yeah, and I don't know if the Dodgers are going to really be all in on that last series of the season either, common sense. I feel like there's a very good chance the Dodgers think to themselves, you know what, we're in. Because I don't think they're in any danger of being left out of the playoffs. They might not win the West, but hey, do you need to have that home series for your 3-game playoff series, or do you want to have all your guys 100% healthy? And Butker just doinked it in from 54. Little doink action. What the fuck is this guy talking about? Why is he talking about? Why the fuck is he talking about Breaking Bad? Only I get to talk about Breaking Bad. What? What does that have to do with Hannibal? What are you fucking talking about? All right. So this thing's almost done.
Oh, this is boring, y'all. Sorry, I ain't saying much. Oh my God, they're showing this Cal Raleigh interview again. I had a great hot dog yesterday, by the way. Maybe the best hot dog I've had in years. It was phenomenal. Homemade grilled hot dog, perfectly marinated in something, and the way that it was just so good. Greg Todd says, "Paul, go sleep." No, I promised a watch party. I made plans, and if I make plans, I stick to them. Okay. Virginia Bunweed, what's up? You missed the Friday live stream. My girlfriend joined the live stream and said you're her favorite. Why is Larry Stafford popping up on my fucking Instagram? There really isn't anything to say. Landry will probably sing more tonight. Yeah, I haven't seen does Landry have a second live stream tonight? I think he did the immediate post-game one.
Because of Ben Williams told us because of that detail and how
Don't be not that. Be nice. Be nice. She had 2 kids. Bullet dodged. But I wouldn't call her that. No. No, she's nice, but not meant to be. What I got right now seems meant to be. Next week, I'm meeting her parents in opposing territory. She's going to Oregon on Friday, and I'm joining her next Tuesday. But listen, the Astros have to score 3 runs this inning or else I'm out. And then I can relax a little bit. Oh.
opponents, he wanted the best for them. That's where I just agreed with Charlie. I hate my opponent, and I don't want the best for them. I'm sorry. I am sorry, Erica. But now Erica can talk to me and the whole group, and maybe they can convince me that that's not right, but I can't stand my opponent.
I'm not asleep. It's a wedding that we're going to. No, I'm just looking at my phone. I'm realizing that when I look at my phone, I look like I'm asleep. Oh, God damn it. Baseball is so fucking slow and plodding. It takes so long. Blue ball's been awesome tonight. One more inning to get within 3 runs.
Yeah, back in the day, that would have been me. You would have been cursing at me. Guess who's the mic? 44? There's Irving. I know it's not 51. He used to be the mic, the middle linebacker for the Jets.
Ooh. Just popped up and I saw a video of Najee Harris's Achilles snapping. Terrible. Terrible. Oh. Man. One, two to Jesus Sanchez. At least we aren't the Panthers or Dolphins. That is true, Thumpy McGroover. Could be worse. Ugh. All right, 2 outs. Oh my God. Jesus. I was nowhere near the strike zone. Oh, 2. Going to be 14 and 15 for the Mariners. Shout out to the Mariners. Mound visit. Come on. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. That was a hell of a play by Crawford. It's been a long day, and all the sports are bad. All of them are bad. Farewell and adieu to ye fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu to ye ladies of Spain. Rick, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody who was hanging out still. We appreciate you so much. There will be a live stream tomorrow at noon. You can get it live on YouTube at Paul Gallant, on Twitch at Gallant Says, on Facebook at Paul Gallant Sports, on Instagram at Sports Gallant, and on X and Twitter at Gallant Says Pod. It's in podcasts form. Look up Gallant Says Podcast. It's available Apple Podcasts. It's also available on Spotify. And if you ever have any comments that you want to make, gallantsays@gmail.com is the email address, and you can leave a voicemail, 281-836-3912. Again, 281-836-3912. I am merely Paul Gallant. So long, farewell, and have yourselves a wonderful rest of your Sunday. See you tomorrow at noon. Until then, peace!